Hello, everyone. I'm Becky. I once hid a homeless kitten from my parents in my room for over a week, but recently I decided to hide my boyfriend. How long do you think we lasted? And what do you think we do in there? I'm now going to tell you about the most exciting few days of my life and about the most amazing moment with the guy of my dreams. I'm sure that after you hear this story, you're going to want to try it too. We both study at the Department of Journalism. I fell for him a long time ago, but I had no idea how he felt about me. I was tortured by him for almost a year before I decided to take a gamble. It was a Friday. After class, Dean, that's his name, told me that he had to spend the night at his house that day, but he didn't get along with his family and had been renting an apartment with a friend for a long time. I didn't ask him what was wrong. I just said, "Do you want to hang out with me today? My parents are leaving for the weekend." He said, "Sure, why not?" Great. I had been waiting for a long time for a chance to get him alone. And my parents were, in fact, going on vacation somewhere that weekend. When we got to my house, I turned on some music and took off my outer layer of clothing. We sat down on the couch and looked at each other. Here we are, alone. "What are we going to do?" I said. We looked into each other's eyes, and he said, "Got any video games?" Oh, God. So we ordered pizza. It was around 12 p.m. when I heard noise on the first floor. Damn it! It was my parents! I told Dean to crawl under the bed. My heart was pounding as I waited for my mother to come in. It turns out that my dad had some business come up suddenly, and they had to come to the city and ruin all my plans. But this turned out to be the best thing that could have happened. My parents' unexpected return gave me the opportunity to launch the craziest challenge of my life. Of course, he could have easily escaped through my bedroom window, and no one would have been the wiser. But come on, that's so boring. I got a crazy idea. Let's have ourselves a challenge. How long can you live in my room and not get caught by my parents? On the first day, we had to deal with the final task: to shower, brush teeth, and not get caught. To accomplish that, we were going to have to shower together. We tiptoed into the bathroom. I got in the shower first, and Dean had to stand with his back to me and not look. And you know what? That's exactly what he did, even when I asked him to hand me a towel from the hanger. When we were done, Dean told me that he had another important thing to do. He really had to go to use the toilet. I told him to pee sitting down, otherwise it would make a lot of noise. After midnight, he went to the bathroom himself. We went to bed together and set an alarm to wake up earlier than my parents. The next morning, Dean and I went to the bathroom together, as we had planned. When Mom finally woke up and left for the spa, I packed a whole bag of food from the fridge. Dean had been whining all morning that he was going to starve to death. We spent the whole day in my room. We felt like we were winning some reality show. The adrenaline just went off the charts when my mother came in a couple of times while Dean was hiding under the bed. We filmed several stories for Instagram, and now almost everyone in our followers knew about our crazy challenge. They were betting on how long we would last, and on how long before we had... you know what I mean. But most importantly, everyone decided that we were dating. Dean didn't seem to mind at all. That night, when we went to bed, he asked if he could kiss me. It was our first kiss. On Sunday morning, we woke up again to the alarm and repeated our morning ritual. The fact that we had been together for so long in a confined space changed a lot. Now we felt comfortable telling each other things. For example, Dean told me that he had always been embarrassed by the difference in our social status and the fact that he didn't come from a particularly wealthy family. When he reached into his backpack again, he dropped something. I gave Dean a serious look, and he suddenly said, "I'm just afraid of your parents. Do you think I would be so dumb if we were alone here?" Then he kissed me again. When I went to the kitchen to stock up on food, the door to my room was open, and there stood my mom. My heart was leaping out of my chest, but Dean was nowhere to be seen. I asked my mom what she had forgotten. She replied that my room was just a terrible mess. Based on how many wrappers there were on my bed, she bet that under my bed was even worse. She started cleaning my room. Mom, please, no. No, No! I quickly escorted my mother out of the room and told her that I would clean everything up right then. The first thing I did was check that my secret guest was under the bed safe and sound. When everyone went to bed, Dean and I whispered for a long time. He was getting closer and closer. Then he told me that he had never felt so scared and so awesome at the same time. What if my parents hear us? I told him that I was super scared too. He added that next time he would invite me to his apartment where no one would bother us. We kissed and everything went great. Dean climbed out the window early the next morning, and a couple of hours later, we met up at the college. We are still together, and my parents still don't know we're dating. I'm thinking I should probably introduce them to my new boyfriend, who secretly lived in their house for 3 whole days. Well, that was my story about Dean and I's crazy 60-hour challenge. Have you ever done something like that? Write it in the comments. If you haven't, be sure to try this one out. It's an awesome challenge. Hello, people. I'm Mindy. I'm 19 years old, and yesterday, I broke up with a guy. In the morning, I was the happiest girl in the world, and by evening, wept with grief. I dated Frank for more than 5 months. We were a great couple. At least, I thought so. We spent every day together. We went for walks, ate in cafes, and watched movies. A month ago, Frank proposed to me. We even picked out an apartment to live in, a cute one on the corner near the park. Every day, I imagined myself living there with Frank, how happy we would be. And yesterday, everything collapsed. That day, I returned home early. Sandy, my older sister, was not home. She knew that I would come home for a few hours later after class. I decided to play a trick on her and crawled under her bed to scare her. Yes, I know I'm not 6 years old. I'm 19, but it's an old game of ours and I just wanted to remember my childhood. When the front door slammed shut, I sneaked into Sandy's room and hid under her bed. The stairs creaked. Someone was walking down the hallway, and I heard 2 voices, male and female. I realized Sandy had come home with some guy, and I'm sitting under the bed like a stupid little girl. I felt so ashamed. I wanted to get out, but did not have time. The door creaked, and I saw my sister's legs. And then, very familiar shoes. Is it really Frank? But we'd not made any plans to meet up. He probably just wanted to give me a pleasant surprise. What a terribly awkward situation. I decided that I would not crawl out from under the bed. I did not want to look completely stupid in Frank's eyes. My sister and Frank were standing very close, and I could not understand what they were doing. There was some rustling sounds, strange sounds, and then a kiss. No, it can't be. I definitely heard it. Sandy and Frank went to the bed. I heard the mattress creak. They sat very close. There was the sound of kissing, again and again. I distinctly heard the rustle of clothes and the sound of a zipper unfastening. This was probably Frank's windbreaker. I had given him a fashionable Nike jacket for his birthday. I put my hand over my mouth to keep from screaming with rage. Frank, honey, I missed you so much. Sorry. I know that we don't get to spend much time together, but you understand. I don't want to wait anymore. You have to tell Mindy everything. Sorry, dear, but I can't. Mindy's so vulnerable. She dreams of a wedding, so I want to wait for the right moment. Mindy is just a spoiled little brat. You've got to be brave. Tell her it's over. Honey, I feel sorry for her. But I'll tell her. I promise I'll tell her. Come here, gorgeous. And again, the sounds of kisses. I felt my heart breaking apart. Only at that moment did I understand why poets love this image so much. I really felt something break inside me, and pain and cold filled my soul. They kissed and told each other sweet nonsense, and I lay there under the bed, quietly sobbing. Even after Sandy and Frank were long gone, I cried and cried. Then, I got out, washed and wiped my face. I pulled myself together. When Sandy returned, I confronted her quite calmly. Sandy, I'm sorry. I accidentally overheard one of your conversations. And you know what? You're absolutely right. I really am a naive fool. All this time, I believed you, considered you the closest person to me, and you betrayed me. I'm very sorry that I was so wrong about you." Then I called Frank and said that I no longer wanted to see him. Here I am, sitting in my room completely alone, and I'm writing this story. I no longer have a sister and no boyfriend. My dreams are shattered. Were you ever betrayed by a loved one? How did you cope with it? And where did you get your strength from?